First Trades, presented by BSC, Investors Protection Fund.
Alright, good morning. You're watching First Trades on Bloomberg TV India. Well, let's get Dr. Tirthankar Patnaik, Director and Strategist Institutional Research for Religare Capital Markets, joining us this morning. Along with him, we have Rajat Bose from rajatbose.com, who tracks the technical space pretty closely. Mr. Patnaik, morning. Let me come to you first with the big development that we've been talking about the last couple of minutes. It's all about HUL for a second day in a row. Yesterday, you had those good set of numbers. Today comes the open offer at 600 rupees per share. Your view?
I think you see, yesterday's numbers were basically a positive surprise. Street was especially expecting volume growth to be fairly low after the disappointment in the third quarter. People were expecting about 7%, numbers came in at 5%, so that was a kind of negative surprise. And this time, given economic growth had been lower, numbers were anywhere between 3.5% to 4.5%. So with the 5% or with a 6% number, that was clearly a surprise. While the company took up higher A&P spends during the quarter to justify better numbers this time, justify that volume that the streets kind of digested. So it was a positive surprise, and after that this windfall has come in from Unilever, clearly a big positive surprise for the stock.
Rajat, before I get to your market perspective, it's all about HUL this morning and what we saw yesterday, 7% rally as far as yesterday's trade goes. Give us a sense as to what kind of technical indications are you picking up on this one?
See, yesterday was a huge rally in Hindustan Lever, and perhaps.
Tirthankar, that was my question really, beyond lever, the kind of a rub-off effect this news perhaps has on other stocks as well, whether they are MNC plays or whether they are Indian plays, because a lot of cynics, a lot of people who had concerns around volume growth, perhaps they would be silenced today. So what would your stance be on the FMCG staple side of the market right now, looking at what's happened? And I'm wondering if there's any change between, let's say, yesterday and today morning.
I think you've hit it spot on. We do remain very worried about volume growth. We believe that HUL's price rise yesterday was something to do with positive surprise coming up after the third quarter, and partly maybe this news had also been factored in partially by the market. What's important to note is that this is a company-specific event. We, for the sector though, valuations remain fairly expensive. We are not positive on stocks like Marico and GCPL, where we think valuations are slightly on the expensive side. If you really ask me what one could probably enter into the consumer space, Dabur, Imami, though Britannia to some extent, are the stocks that we really like. But overall, on the consumption theme, we remain negative this year. HUL remains, it's a very company-specific event. So to our thesis in terms of a model portfolio rejig, we will remain negative on consumer staples, and this news on HUL is company specific, and that will not alter our sector stance, frankly.
Give us a minute. Pre-open is starting. Need to see the quotes on the stock. Okay, so 547 is the initial quote on Hindustan Unilever. Straight away 10%. That's what we're looking at on the screens right now. Yeah, 547 is the kind of number that we are working with. The closing price yesterday was 497. So as one would expect, there's a 10% surge straight away on lever on the back of this news. Let's bring out some of the other FMCG stocks as well. Perhaps if we can get a Marico, a Dabur, and more importantly a Colgate and a Nestle. These are the ones that would be, of course, in the limelight today. Of course, some of them are also reporting numbers. Marico 223 was the close yesterday. Let me see if I can quickly pull up any quotes on Nestle India. A lot of these stocks do trade in the pre-open. Okay, on Nestle India right now there's a 6% down move, which is very interesting. 44.50 on Nestle India. Pre-open 16 on the rupee coming in. Tirthankar, I'm going back to the question about the portfolio itself. So you're saying you're not very upbeat on the consumption theory, the entire consumption cycle for this year. So what is it that you are going with? And let me also bring into context the report that you've just come out with, which is sell in May and go away. If you're going to follow that, then what are you selling out in May and what will you hold on to?
Okay, so on the consumption theme, basically we're just looking at the macro numbers. We have probably ended the year in FY13 at about 5% growth according to the CSO advanced estimates. Our estimates for FY14 are at 5.8, almost at the bottom of street estimates. Most people are still north of 6%. We believe that given investment cycle is already weak, there's not sufficient downside to the investment cycle at this point, but consumption theme has been remarkably resilient. It has been slowing off over the last 2-3 quarters, but if you look at the 3-year period where GDP growth has come down from 9% to 5%, consumption has been remarkably resilient. We believe that this year would be the year that urban consumption finally takes the hit. Rural consumption, in our opinion, could be still supported in a pre-election year by the government, in terms of an MSP hike, or if the food security bill does come in, probably not this session, maybe in the monsoon session, but there isn't likely to be any support for the urban consumer, and we believe that would be the key, roadblock, headwind for the consumption space, which is fairly expensive at roughly on a blended basis about 25 times earnings, and therefore we would be negative on consumer staples. What would we be selling into the rally that we selling into this particular rally? We believe private banks, PSU banks in particular, have done remarkably well in April. We believe that the market, in a weak macro, remains sort of range bound, and we might be coming into the top of that range at this point. So we'll be selling off in PSU banks. I know results have not really come in. We might see some sort of surprises, positive surprises, if you will, on asset quality in the fourth quarter for the fourth quarter results, but we will still be sellers for PSU banks.
IOB didn't inspire any confidence for sure. If that was a sign of things to come, definitely not a very pretty picture. Let's bring up the intraday on IOB once again. Rajat, what would you do with this stock in particular, and how are structures and charts for most of the PSU banks looking like right now?
See, India Overseas, I would say that it is now giving an indication that there is a possible rise after yesterday's correction. I mean, there was a huge volume that happened in yesterday. I mean, this kind of a thing at the bottom of the move, at the bottom of the price swing, generally suggests that
front. That's the way the rupee spanned out this morning. But let's just shift focus back to the equity space and the kind of cues that we're picking up. Mr. Patnaik, May 3rd is the important date as far as the next couple of days go in terms of the outlook for the market. What are you expecting from there?
See, our base case is that of a 25 basis point cut. We believe that the RBI, given its hawkish commentary over the last two policies where they have actually cut rates but maintained a hawkish commentary, would be finding itself in a difficult situation if it comes up with a 50 basis point cut. That that is the key reason. Growth indicators at this point are telling you that a 50 basis point cut might do the trick in terms of providing banks some room to actually cut rates, because what we are seeing here is that policy rates have been coming down, but monetary transmission has been extremely delayed at this point. So a 50 basis point surprise might do the trick. However, it will fly in the face of what the RBI has been saying in terms of their commentary in terms of inflation actually remaining fairly high, and also in terms of food inflation becoming a big scare in the couple of quarters going forward. In terms of CRR, we are not expecting any CRR cut at this point. LAF numbers have been slightly on the higher side over the last week or so, but we believe that while this is partly a reason excuse me, this is partly a reason of the government issuance calendar going on, and no OMO announcements from the central bank having come in over the last couple of weeks. So the central bank might just do an OMO at this point and refrain from giving a CRR boost to the markets.
So, Mr. Patnaik, two things that actually stand out here. The earnings season that we've actually seen so far has, the recent numbers have been pretty good. The other factor, the May 3rd muted expectations. So, going into May now, what is the strategy? Do we sell and go away? Because for the last 3 years that we've actually seen, every time in May, you actually got a negative return as far as the index goes.
You're right. See, if you look at the longer period there, excuse me, May in India has typically seen alternating returns. So one would expect, going by that longer term trend, May should do better this year. Just that what we are expecting is after May 3rd, macro triggers for the market aren't really there. earnings season until now has been fairly good, as you rightly pointed out, except IT, which is not which is disappointed. But here's what I'm asking: private banks have done well. PSU Bank, we haven't seen the results. Capital Goods, we haven't seen the results. Key places which are very much linked to the economy are places where we have not really seen the results at this point. And my understanding is that you might just see a repeat of what has happened in the third quarter, where the first part of the earnings season gave us all cause for hope, only to get those hopes dashed as we went into the second half of the earnings season. Even this time, the only surprise that we see is how private banks have been doing fairly well on the consumption side, where volume growth times every other consumption story that we have seen has been fairly disappointing. I'm not particularly enthused by what HUVR's numbers were in terms of volume growth specifically. Bata numbers were about 2 to 3% same store sales growth. That's not telling you much. So basically the consumption story remains fairly slow. We would go into the rally for the, we will sell into the rally after May 3rd because there are no macro triggers and the economy does not seem to be showing any signs of, pickup at this point.
So just a quick mention as far as Nifty goes, what would the strategy be for today in the near term?
Near term, I would suggest that you will find that 5900 to about 6000 is well fraught with a lot of supply pressures coming in because initially
okay, Raja, very sorry there, we're really running into market opening, very short on time, thanks to all the lever breaking news that's come in. Gentlemen, thanks for being with us today. Quick break, back with the open, lever surging 10% in the pre-open.
First Trades, presented by BSE Investors